Oh man, lived in California for 35 years, something like that. Spent 3 years in Alaska, on and off, back and forth. About 6 months in North Carolina. And then I've been to almost every state. Minus Hawaii and the Northeast. Like Florida and all the way up to the East Coast. I haven't been there, but I have been to Florida. New York North and the Dakotas or Montana East I haven't been to. And California is the most beautiful, shittiest place I've ever been. Drive around the mountains and the beach. It's fucking beautiful. Used to be most of the people were awesome. Now it's a toss-up. I guess it just depends. You run into shitty people, I guess, when you have a shitty attitude. So, 2016, I moved to Alaska. Spent 2 years there. I was engaged to a girl. A young lady. I was 35, she was 18. She chased me, so she looked like 18-year-old Shirley Temple. That was a good thing I had going there. I saw that she got married. Congratulations, Brianna. But we had a nice house. Both working good jobs, and my mom passed suddenly. And I don't know what happened. I shut down, pushed her away, she left. Started drinking real heavy. I finally got to the point where I had to, either eat a bullet or suck it up and go back to work. So I sucked it up. My buddy offered me a job. I flew down to California. Started driving a log truck 2018. Ended up in a relationship with somebody I knew for a long time. About a year and a half or so. I'm not going to say any names. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, but we were engaged to be married, and she decided that she wanted to get on the airplane and go to another state. And ended up staying there with some guy. And I told her, I was like, once you get on that plane, this is done. So I moved on. Fast forward, I should have left town when that happened. Immediately. I should have immediately got on an airplane and went home. And when I say home, the first time I was in Alaska was 2012. I went up there for 3 months, and I immediately knew as soon as I got there that was my home. Not California. I mean, I'm from Santa Cruz originally, but I've never felt at home here. It's always been off. I just was stuck here. Either in a relationship or I stayed here for my kids. The plan was always to bring them up there, but it never, when you're living with somebody else, that doesn't happen that way. There's other underlying things that happened from 16 to 18 when I was up there, why my kids didn't come up and stuff, but that's besides the point. So, I should have left. That would have been in around 2020. I should have got on an airplane and went back home. Instead, then I ended up getting into a relationship with another woman that I'd known for a long time. We got married. Like, COVID messed it up. We had a venue. Dude burned us for the money. Right, it was right at the beginning of COVID, so we never got to actually have a ceremony or anything. But we wore our rings, and we took all the wedding pictures in the dress and the tux and stuff. But we never turned the paperwork into the state because COVID fucked it all up. Plus, when you turn stuff into the state, that just gives them power over your life, and I'm not for the state, so I didn't turn the paperwork in. So anyways, year and a half, we were together about, give or take. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to say any names. I already told her she's the bad guy in the story, and she said that's fine, but there's no reason for me to put her name out there. But we were together, I don't know, a couple months. A few months, and she tells me that she wants to break up. Okay. So I leave about a week later. Oh no, we need to be good. So I go back. About 3 months down the road, this would have been at the 6-month mark, she wants to break up again. At this point, we were already wearing our rings, had taken our pictures, and went to get married. So we were technically, in our minds, we were living like we were married. We just didn't get to have the ceremony in the church because of COVID and all that bullshit. In my mind, I'm married. I don't look at other women. I've always been like that. She, however, is not like that. So, anyways, we were together for about 6 months or so, had rings, all that stuff. She wants to break up. I know there's mental stuff going on there. So there was leeway. I was in love. I still love her. But I'm not the type of person, once we get together and we're together for a while and we break up for some reason and you go get with somebody else, I'm done. It's not, with my kids' mom, I have 3 kids, 2 moms. And it was kind of a together, off together, we'll break up, get back together, whatever. I did it for my kids. That shit don't work out. If you got to try really hard for a relationship to work, it's probably not the right relationship. But I tried for my kids. I moved around a lot, but I always stayed in contact with my kids. I stayed in Orville far too long. So we were split up for about 2 months. I was working in Sacramento, and she was still wearing her wedding ring. So was I. That's a break to me, right? You don't just go get there was no divorce or anything like that. So, long story short, I'm down in Sacramento working, and we start talking. I come back, we get back together and stuff. Well, after about a month, we'll come to find out when I was gone, she went and slept with some dude. It was safe, this or that. I got tested. Yeah, fucking shut up. Whatever. Luckily, everything was all good. It was never the same after that. And I told her, I was like, it's never going to be the same. But things happen. People that have emotional damage and, mental problems, mental illness. I felt like I needed to help her. Shit, I don't know. We were really good friends. Told each other everything, I worked as a truck driver in California the whole time we were together, so I made really good money. Driving a log truck, made killer money. Government wants fucking half of it. Fuck out of here. when I figured out that they were a bunch of corrupt politicians and child molesters and stuff like that, I stopped paying taxes as much as possible. I would claim the highest amount I could claim without any kind of red flag going up. So I knew it'd catch up to me sooner or later. That's why they took the money out of my account. Is what it is. Where I'm at now. That was yesterday. There's nothing I can do about it now. So I'm trying to get to where I'm at now. So, we let that slide. We get back together. I asked her, I was like, were you wearing your ring when you did that? And she never answered me. So obviously the ring, that didn't fucking matter. It was just a thing. Honestly, now that I've been away for a while and stuff, I think the whole thing was just a facade to make herself feel better. Maybe, I don't know. I'm married, look at me. I get to spend half. That's what it was always. I want half the money. I want to spend half the money. Where's my ATM card now? Here goes by, however long it was, 8 months goes by. Ups and downs, but we held it together. And I was working on the fire cleanup in California for the U.S. Forest Service, and I fractured my ankle 2 days before the end of the job. So, sorry, let me rewind. 2 months prior to that, I'd saved a lot of money because I was making good money. Had it all hidden, put away. Well, we had a spending problem. And I go look, and there was a significant amount of money. Thousands of dollars had been spent. It was being saved to get a place because we lived in some shithole apartments I wanted to get out of. All the money's gone. I lost my shit. I took the ATM card, said it's not happening anymore. Because I was out of town a lot. So, she needed stuff for the house, for the kids, whatever. She had my son and her son. So, nope, no more ATM card. You're done. She was supposed to be doing homeschooling with her son and my son. They didn't do anything for like 8 months. I was like, oh, God, now my son's a year behind. So, but that is what it is. As soon as I took that fucking ATM card and said, like, we're on a budget and you get an allowance now, because she stayed home with the boys, she didn't work. Fucking like a light switch. The whole relationship changed. Everything changed. Shortly after that, I busted my ankle. So I was laying on the couch with my foot up. Turned into blood clot in my leg. Fucking almost died from that. Her sister lived a few doors down, and she tells me, oh, I'm going to help my son's dad get into my sister's place and stay there. Immediately, I'm like, well, that's a fucking horrible idea. Like, we were cordial. I didn't want to kill the motherfucker. We weren't friends or anything like that. Like, I was never going to be your friend. We were never going to go to barbecues and hang out. Fuck out of here. I didn't even want you at my fucking house. Dirtbag piece of shit. So she moves him in there, and immediately I'm like, what the fuck? This is never going to work. Like, you gonna go down there, watch movies, and hang out and shit while I'm out of town at work? Nah, fuck that. He ain't coming over to take a shower. He ain't hanging out while I'm gone out of town. Like, if he needed to come pick him up while I was out of town, she used to call and tell me, oh, hey, he's coming over to pick him up, this and that. That tapered off once the ATM card got took away. So, come right around a couple days before Christmas time, they're down there fucking hanging out, wrapping packages for Christmas. You're welcome, motherfucker. I'm pretty sure I paid for all your Christmas presents and all your kids' Christmas presents, but you're lucky you're still breathing, motherfucker. Anyways, sorry. Yeah, a couple days before Christmas, she tells me, I decided that my son's dad, I want to give him another chance. I think it's because he got a job. Like, oh, he got a job. Fucking, what an accomplishment. And I'm just like, what the fuck? You're married, motherfucker. You don't get to just go back to your baby's dad and fucking see if it works now. So, I mean, at that point, like, not everything was by the book, but at that point, that was a divorce to me. So I bailed. I went to Alaska. I'm not going to stay in Oroville looking like a fucking dipshit fucking clown, which I look like most of the time anyways. I go up there for 6 months, heal my ankle. I never had any intention of getting back with her ever. I get a job in California. My downfall is California. I hate this fucking place. Get offered a good job, so I come down here for the money. The truck was badass. I was driving Peterbilt. And so she wants to hang out with me. Never had any intention. I told her I'm never coming to your house. Like, I'm not going to Oroville. She's like, why? I said, because I look like a fucking asshole. I look stupid. I keep getting back together. You keep doing the same shit. I look like a fucking clown in the town I'm from. Yeah, fuck that. No. Hell no. No. So I had a blood clot in Alaska. They found it, put me on blood thinners. I come down here. I'm on blood thinners. Long story short, she goes with me. We go on a trip to LA. I go over the grapevine. My leg starts hurting. I come back over the grapevine. Bang. I got a fucking blood clot in my lung. Pulmonary embolism. Go to the hospital. They put me on. I'm in there for 3 days. They put me on all those fucking needles and fucking patches and beepers and fucking all this bullshit. Give me a really strong blood thinner. Thin my blood out. Whatever. So I got out of the hospital. They clear me. Go back to work. Well, hold on. So I get out of the hospital after 3 days. And like, I couldn't go back to work right away. I was still fucked up. It was a couple of weeks before I was able to go back to work. So I go back to her house. What am I going to do? She's like, well, you can come stay here. Fuck, all right. She wants to go around town and go to dinner and hang out. And I'm like, no, like, I'm not going anywhere with you. And she got mad at me. Why don't you take me anywhere? Because you made me look like a fucking clown. I'm not going anywhere with you. Ever. Ever again. Ever in this town. So we kind of talk about it, and we just see if maybe we could work it out. After a couple of days, she's like, it's not the same, huh? And I was like, what? She's like, our relationship. I was like, no, it'll never be the same. Ever. She's like, well, maybe down the road we can get married again. And I would never marry you. What are you talking about? That's over. You fucked that off. She's like, well, what are we doing then? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, if there's no marriage ever in the future, what are we doing? I was like, I don't know. I would never marry you again. You left me for your baby daddy, who's always been a fucking stupid piece of shit. That was another reason I left Oroville to go to Alaska when we split, because I was going to kill that motherfucker. Right in front of his job. I don't give a fuck. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go to prison. And, I was sitting there one day. I was going to go down there smoking, and I had a conversation with God. He told me to leave. He was like, don't go sit. That's not the right thing. He's like, just leave. So I was the bigger person, and I left, even though I wanted to go shoot the motherfucker or light him on fire or whatever. But anyways, when I came back, we were kind of talking. It wasn't the same, and she needed me to drop her son off one day with his dad, and I was like, absolutely not. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm not going anywhere where he's at. She's like, why? I said, because green light on sight. What don't you understand about that? He ruined my marriage. She's like, what do you mean? I'm beating his fucking ass if I see him, period. Wherever you're at, in the store, in the street, in front of the cop shop, I don't give a fuck. We're scrapping. You see me coming. So I don't fight in front of kids. So I was like, no. And she's like, well, if we're going to be together and I need you to pick him up or drop him off with his dad, I'm not doing anything with that motherfucker. I'm not helping him do shit. If we're together, you're not giving him fucking money. She used to shovel that motherfucker money and buy him shit all the time. I didn't know about that. I'm sure I paid for a lot of his shit. Come to find out, he's a fag and likes dudes, but fucking everybody knows, so I can't even blast that shit out there. But anyways, be the bigger person. So I did. I ended up getting another truck. Went to work. Worked for like 10 days. Started having fucking problems. Something about the heat. It was I have some kind of blood thickening disorder, and when I get into the heat, it's fucking pass out. Almost like heat stroke, just. So I took myself out of the truck. I told him I didn't feel safe operating 80,000-pound vehicle with some kind of medical condition. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, so I gave up my seat. Went back to my doctor. She says I have some kind of blood thickening disorder where I'm going to have to be on blood thinners for the rest of my life, so that's obviously not going to happen. So I'm going to have to figure out another form of blood thinner, something natural, because I'm not. It's $600 a month. I'm not ever going to pay for that. So probably when this cycle's done, I'll find something natural that there's always a holistic medicine that will cure. For every ailment on the planet, God gave us a cure for it. So if I have thick blood, there's a plant out there that'll thin my blood. I don't give a fuck what everybody, all you say, oh, listen to the doctors. It's just a glorified drug dealer. They get paid to write you a prescription. So when this medication's done, my doctor told me, oh, if you go 12 hours without it, you'll get a pulmonary embolism. Well, then that just is what it is. I guess it's my time to go. So I'm not going to take this fucking medication forever. I don't do pharmaceutical pills and shit. It's all bullshit. So now that job was why I came back here. So now I'm stuck here. And I told her, I was like, it's not like, I'm not in love with you anymore. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, I still love you. I still have love for you. Like, I want good things for you. I hope you succeed in life. You broke our marriage off to go give your baby a daddy a chance. And she told me, she was like, I knew when I did it, it wasn't ever going to work out. I don't know why I did it, because you're stupid. But I told her, there's no marriage ever. It'll never be the same. I'm not going anywhere with you. She's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I'm never going anywhere with you, ever, in this town, ever, period. And so she took it to heart when I told her I wasn't in love with her anymore. But, I mean, would you want me to lie to you? Like, I was in love with you until you ruined our relationship. And, in my eyes, I call it cheating because we were married. You don't get to just, put a pause button on the marriage and go fucking do what you want with whoever you want and then come back and then be married again. Like, she thought we were going to just put our rings on and fucking be married again. Fuck out of here. I don't even have that fucking ring anymore. So, story of Tobias's life. And you can't make this fucking shit up. So, truck's gone. Can't drive. Problems with the heat. Like, I've always had issues with the heat, but now it's really bad. Like, I'll just fucking slump over, pass out. So, I tell her, yeah, I'm not in love with you no more. And she's like, well, then this is going to be weird, us living together. And I was like, yeah, I got to get out of here. So, it was kind of just weird. We were just kind of roommating, I guess, if you want to call it that. And I was never one to look in her phone or anything like that. Even after the baby daddy thing, I was still willing to try. Just like, we're not getting married. That's not going to happen. But I love you, so I'll try. Sitting there one day and her phone goes off. A text. She's in the kitchen. And I don't look at people's phones. That's not my thing. Phone goes off and I look down and I recognize the name. It's a dude that she used to date. And so I figured, like before, she'd be like, oh, hey, this person texted me and I texted him back and this is what it was. Okay, cool. She grabs her phone, goes in the room, comes back out, and the text cleared. So she read the text, it didn't say nothing to me. I was like, all right. So I got curious. That night I went and looked in her phone. And she was back talking to one dude she was dating, and then fucking telling this other dude about our relationship and how she made a mistake taking me back and this and that, blah, 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 and how they were gonna... I was like, okay, yeah, I'm fucking done, dude. You know what I mean? You're gonna entertain other dudes. Why didn't you just tell me that before I came back here? Like, I don't play that fucking game. You're gonna entertain other people, go entertain other people. I'm not wasting my time. So at that point, I threw all of my shit. That's all the clothes that I have in the world. All that right there and the stuff out there is all I own. Going back and forth to Alaska, I just lost pretty much everything back. But anyways, I don't care. I came here butt ass naked, covered in blood, so I'm gonna leave the same way. So all this stuff's just material. I really don't give a fuck. So now I knew I had some money coming, enough to make it somewhere and start over. That was my plan. I told my buddy, I said, I'm done, dude. I'm out of here. It's too hot. So I loaded all my shit in my truck, and I filled the tank, and I drove to Fort Bragg. He's like, what's your plan? I said, I don't have a plan. I'm just going to get to Fort Bragg. I figured out. I'll put applications in. I'll find a job. You know, I got a pretty broad set of skills. I've done a lot of stuff. I can weld, construction, pretty good mechanic. I got common sense. Most people don't have that. I have common sense. I fucking got a CDL. Been driving a truck for 10 years. Last 3 years is in the timber industry. I've done a lot of cleanup for the fire. I've done a little bit of everything. I'm one of them employees you could give the keys to and you know your stuff will still be locked up tomorrow. Honest, loyal, you know, all that. But I couldn't find a job in Fort Bragg. It's fucking crazy. I put applications in places people have fucking help wanted in the window, and I go in there and they're like, oh yeah, you got CDL, well, yeah, here, fill this paperwork out, bring it right back. Okay, fill the paperwork out, bring it back, never hear nothing from them. So there's either two things. Like, I got in trouble when I was in my 20s, late teens, early 20s. Got in trouble, went to fucking county jail a couple times. It's on my record. They probably looked at that. Back in Orville, I've been there for 35 years. Everybody knows me. All I had to do is make a phone call and I got a job. Like, I don't have to introduce myself anymore. But you go other places, I guess, you know. People see me come up and they either walk away or they start talking to me. It just depends. Like, I got tattoos on my neck. You know, I got tattoos on my hand. My arms are blasted. I look like a fucking criminal. I got outlaw tattooed on my forearm. I look like a criminal. Whatever, it is what it is. I don't care. People's definition of a criminal. A hooligan, an outlaw. So, I find this guy in Fort Bragg. He's looking for somebody to do a residential remodel, which is what I used to do. I worked for a general contractor. So I go work for this guy for about a week. I had a little system. There's places you can camp on the side of the road now in California. They changed the laws, so it's all good. Hold on. Hold that thought. All right. I threw the same shirt on I had yesterday. This morning when I got up, I had to change. Put a fresh shirt on. Yeah, so found this guy, go to work for him for about a week. As soon as I meet the guy, he's nuts. He's fucking, looks like he just got out of a mental institution. Smart dude. He's wealthy. He's one of those wealthy, crazy people. But he's like, oh yeah, cash. You know, work 6-7 hours a day. I was like, perfect, right? The longer I was around him, the weirder he got. Weirder shit he would talk about. Just weird, like, weird vibe. But I needed the money. Till another job called me, so. Or until I found another job. The thing is, there's not a lot of shit around. You're either in Fort Bragg or there's really nothing to, you know. The guy was cool, he just was weird, man, and he fucking talk a lot. So Friday comes, and he goes to pay me, and he gives me a paper check, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, you said cash. Dude, I didn't even know people had a checkbook. Last time I saw a checkbook was when my mom was alive. You fucking kidding me? I haven't had a checkbook since fucking ATM cards came out. I've got a checkbook when I was like early 20s. Nobody even uses that fucking shit anymore. So he cuts me a check. I'm like, oh my God, dude, they're gonna hold the check. I needed the money. They're gonna hold the check. I thought he was gonna hand me cash. So, fuck me, right? Fast forward day. I put the check in the bank. God, I don't even know what day this is. This is Saturday, so I put the check in the bank on Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, nothing. Monday, I go to work. We didn't really do much. We just split firewood at the neighbor's house. It was cool. Right? It was all right. Whatever. Tuesday, the check hasn't cleared yet. And I had the last payment for my old Tahoe that I sold to a buddy of mine. He was making payments on it. Oh, this was the last payment that I was supposed to get. And it was going to be enough to carry me. It's $1,000. It was going to be enough to carry me up to Oregon or Washington, wherever the fuck I was going, and keep me going for a while. Tuesday, I go to work. And this guy's acting weird. Like, freaking out. He plays the stock market shit, so he'd freak out over money or whatever. But he's freaking acting weird. Like, he bought a saw from Home Depot, and it didn't come with the arm to cut. And he fucking calls him and loses his shit. Well, I'm pretty sure when he unpacked it, he fucking lost it. Because they go through quality control when they pack that shit up. Anyway, so he has me send them pictures, and I'm trying to build a redwood deck, and he keeps calling me over, and I go back, and then he calls me over, and I go back, and then he fucking has me do something else. It's like, just, fuck, man, one project at a time.